Greetings folks, March 29th, 2020, I had posted my review of the Asus TUF 506 featuring the Ryzen 4800H CPU, 8 cores and 16 threads. There's been a lot of questions about that laptop and about that CPU, and I'm going to pick 3 today to address. These are the most common ones, 2 in particular and one that I did appreciate very much as a tech enthusiast, and I want to share my insight on that. So the first question was, how does this compare in gaming to, let's say, the 9750H, 8750H, or even the i9? Well, as I said in my review, that even a 6-core 12-thread chip is more than enough for gaming. If you were to just use, let's say, a 9750H on a laptop where everything else is identical to this other laptop that has everything about it the same, minus the Ryzen 4800H, but not monitor anything but graphics card performance, it'll be indistinguishable as far as how the gaming feel and performance and everything about it goes. We're not quite at the thread mercy with 12 threads and 6 cores, and we sure as heck are not going to be there on a 16-thread Ryzen 4800H. What makes the CPU so compelling is that we really don't have to do any tuning to it. It's running very good out of the box. It does not seem to be hotter than Satan's balls like we get on Intel stuff, and it's priced amazing. And all we have to do is right now give up Thunderbolt 3 in quick sync. Sold, right? What sells me even more is the future for that Ryzen 4600, because right now we can get that 4800H in a pretty decent laptop for $999, link in the description below. But what's it going to be like with the 4600H? I mean, geez, with those 2 CPUs, aside from a few niche scenarios, especially later on down the road for 2020, when we get a lot of different kinds of laptops that will have these CPUs inside, God willing, that it's going to be very hard to recommend Intel, and what a great time to be, of course, a laptop enthusiast. However, when it comes to gaming, the 4800H is not going to give you anything more than, let's say, the 4600H will, that's going to be coming up here shortly. Now, the next question was, can I upgrade the display? Now, I no longer have the TUF 506. I was able to move that along post-review. I do have another thin bezel laptop. And yes, you could technically replace the panel that's in that unit and put in something else. Fair bit of warning here. These thin bezels and adhesive that will be held onto the bottom here, this is a lot harder to dismantle, and the likelihood of you breaking something is very good. These bezels will warp and bend quite easily, and when you put this back together, the fit and finish is likely to be compromised. Can it be done? Yes. Will you damage something along the way? There's a pretty good chance that could happen. Should you desire doing this on your own, let me give you some tips. What you need to do is see exactly what part number you have as far as the display goes inside your laptop, not just for the TUF 506, but any laptop that you wish to do this in. Download and install Hardware Info 64, go over to the Monitor tab, there you will find the part number. Google search that part number, and what you are looking for is the amount of pins that particular display uses. It'll either be a 30 pin or a 40 pin. Once you find that out, then you can begin to search for a better panel, just making sure that you are matching whether it's a 30 pin or a 40 pin. This is going to be key in your success. You cannot use a display that was originally for a chunkier bezel laptop and get it to fit inside of here. The displays have a built-in metal housing that you cannot separate, and that housing is designed to fit in either a thicker bezel laptop or a thinner bezel laptop. Now, what's the best way to go about doing this? Well, once you find out how many pins your display has, then from there search other thin bezel laptops. Of course, they need to be the same size, 15 or 17 inches, thin bezel, see which displays those carry, and then just go to eBay first, Amazon second, and see if you can source one of those panels, and then from there you can R&R it into your TUF 506 or laptop that you wish to replace the display in. But just again, fair bit of warning, the thin bezel laptops are not fun to put a new display in, and the likelihood of you damage something along the way, unfortunately, is pretty high. The last one is a tech enthusiast I really appreciated here. A few people have noticed that there was a lot of CPU fluctuation on the 4800H. Well, understand this. we're really unable to properly saturate 8 cores and 16 threads in games, and honestly, that's kind of what we want. And because of that, you're not going to see a high level of frequency being sustained under long periods of time. You will see this occur a little bit more so in, let's say, a 9750H as we get a little bit closer to fuller thread utilization with only 12 threads, and of course more so on a 4-core 8-thread chip. Now, what is very important here to know is that that CPU will be indistinguishable from a performance standpoint against pretty much anything we can get on the mobile side for Intel, which is great. And until we can start to get these threads being hammered, will we really see any thermal deficiencies and just how these things will actually scale their frequency based on the thermal headroom that we have, as well as the TDP, or the amount of wattage generally that these laptops will pull. And that's going to go from laptop to laptop. I think it's going to be very dependent. But before I can really give you the fair details that everyone would deserve on being able to answer a question like that, I'm going to need more laptops with chips like this so I could do more testing. While I do have more testing that I have yet to reveal, I need other processors out there across different chassis before I could put something really nice and detailed together before I share that with the world. All right, folks, that's going to do it. I'm Bob of All Trades. If you have more questions about the CPU or this laptop, leave them in the comment section below, and perhaps I'll do another one of these videos. I'd like to thank you for watching, and have a good one.